and good morning to each and every one of you who is going to join us in this Styling Insights. It's an absolute pleasure to actually be presenting every week to you just some tips and strategies on how you can create a home that you'll love. So I'm pretty sure that we are live. My Facebook is still catching up, but today I want to talk to you about the 3 key elements to creating the home that you'll actually love and the desire that you need to have your home styled the way that reflects who you are, what you are, and how you actually want to present your home. So I'm just going to take this over like a 3-week series. So we'll do each key element for the next 3 weeks. So today we will talk about positioning. So positioning is the key. So that's the main part that we actually need to focus on too when we're styling our home as well, because this plays a crucial part in making sure that everything is positioned right. It's got structure to it. It's not going to block doorways. It's not going, we're going to have an actual beautiful display in our home. So first and foremost, we actually need to choose a focal point. So really never underestimate the power of a focal point in a room. So sometimes these may appear naturally, like this could be a window or a built-in fireplace mantle, but other times you may need to create them yourself. So we can have focal points being artwork, a beautiful piece of sculpture, and really it's a focal point is a standout piece. So it could be a decor piece, it could be, like I said, a fireplace mantle. So whenever you're choosing your focal point, you really need to stick with this decision, because at the end of the day, you want to rearrange your furniture around this as much as you possibly can. So the next thing is to find balance when arranging furniture. So balance is always an important part in decorating, and never more so. Sorry, I'm stumbling my words today. I thought I had it all set, ready to go, and I knew what I was going to talk about, but this is the beauty of it, right? Like, we're all human, and at the end of the day, it's about me just showing up and giving you value and teaching you strategies on how you can actually create a beautiful home with my knowledge and expertise. But anyway, let's get back to find a balance when arranging furniture. So balance is always important in decorating, and never more so than actually when arranging furniture and other items in your living space. So you also need to consider both the size and placement of various pieces, making sure that you're not grouping the large items all together and the smaller items all together, because this will start making your space feel lopsided and also a little bit unsettled. Like, I'm sure that you've walked into some space, not necessarily in your own home, but you know, whether you walked into a girlfriend's home or into a foyer or into just a space, and you've had that really unsettled feeling because the whole structure or the color palette or the furniture pieces are just sort of not right place. It doesn't give you that that feeling of contentment and you know, I suppose that emotional connection with that space. So also make sure there's variety of shapes as well. So if you've got a straight lined seating lounge, maybe opt for a round coffee table. So we don't necessarily need to keep in with those shapes throughout the whole of our space. So I do have here, we've got the lounge, which is a rectangle, and then we've got the a coffee table that's a rectangle, but we're also bringing in different shapes. So the circle, holder, and then to there we've also got another coffee table that's around coffee table. So we don't have to keep that all structured in that particular shape either. So the next thing is consider traffic flow. So this is also such an important thing in considering when we're arranging our furniture in any room, is the traffic flow, because people shouldn't obviously be tripping over furniture or each other or to pass through the room. So make sure there's space for people to pass, or there's space for the energy to flow through as well. Like we don't want to be allowing that, blocking that energy through our rooms either. So you can just make sure that you have a clear pathway so that people can actually walk from one end of the room to the other end without any difficulty as well. The more the merrier. So make an impact with multiple of single items. So sprinkling a handful of smaller objects in a foreground against interest, sort of to add interest without overpowering the primary display. So I don't know if you can see that behind me, but you know, it's all about having single items. So I've got the Buddha, I've got the cactus, and I've got the candle. But then that leads on to the fine balance. So harmonizing objects of different shapes and sizes with an asymmetrical arrangement as well. You know, balance a tall, large object with several smaller ones as well. So nestle the items together to increase the arrangement of the visual height, and overlap shapes to create layers. Choose items as well from the same color palette to unify unrelated objects. So when, you know, we've got the Buddha as the taller item, so we need to sort of visualize that when we're setting our home decor accents up, or any pieces that we want to make a display of, that there's a rule of three, but also you can do displays of 3, 5, and 7. So odd numbers are going to look better than even numbers when we're presenting. But even if you wanted to add a few little crystals, or a few little ornaments around, I'll just pull that down a bit, around, say, the candle, we could have just little statues, or, you know, something of a smaller piece, but having it on either side of the candle. So we've just got to think also, when we're creating a display, it's like a triangle. So that's where we're finding the balance as well, having the highest object, and then we sort of move down to the next level, and then the lower level as well. It's just going to be easier on the eye for people to actually, you know, look at as well. It's not going to be creating clutter, because we've got that structure of 3, 5, or 7 pieces. If we were to have 7 pieces, I would put that on a bigger space. So like a kitchen hutch, or even in the middle of your table, on a coffee table, it's a fair size as well. Excuse me. So I hope you guys have found this valuable. I can't see that if anyone's watching, but if you are watching later on, please hashtag replay. I'd love to know who's coming in and watching my lives. I will stop sharing in a moment, but next week we'll talk about colour, bringing colour into your home, and how that actually affects your mood within your home. So introducing colours that are going to be, whether you like a slower pace, with the cooler colours as being the greens and the blues being relaxing, or you're going to like the reds, the vibrant colours that bring you more uplifting energy. But we'll talk a bit more on that. Also, you can learn more on these strategies in my masterclass. So I have a masterclass, I think it's on the 25th of November at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, where we spend about 45 minutes to an hour just really honing in on these topics. So if you wish to join, just pop in the comments below masterclass, and we will send you the link to register. But I do thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.